everybody. I'm gonna play a little bit until people come in, and let's see here. Grab my capo. So, hope everyone's doing well. Gonna wait for some more people to come in before I start talking about the topic of today, fingerstyle. So let me think here. You know what I'm going to do is play James Taylor. Pull up some lyrics. All right. So we'll check this out here, leave that there, and then go like that. Perfect. This is a James Taylor song called Enough to Be on Your Way. Boy, this intro's tough. Hold on. So the sun shines on this funeral, just the same as on a birth. The way it shines on everything that happens here on earth. Shines across the western sky and back into the sea. Spends the day's last rays upon this fucked up family. So long, old pal. The last time I saw Alice, she was leaving Santa Fe with a bunch of round-eyed Buddhists and a killer Chevrolet. It turned her down from Texas. Yeah, she burned them down back home. Now she's wild with expectations on the edge of the unknown. Singing, no, it's enough to be on your way. It's enough to cover ground. It's enough to be moving on. Build it behind your eyes, carry it in your heart, safe among your own. Hello everybody. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. So that was a James Taylor song called Enough to Be on Your Way. Beautiful song. And I wanted to have a live stream today about fingerstyle. Hey, so we have some people joining in and saying hello. Sophia, hello, thanks for joining. Also, Savos, nice to see you. And then the Mando Corner, who was very very active in our last live stream, so I really appreciate you tuning in once again. Thanks to Mando Corner. I checked out your Instagram stuff. You have some really great stuff. All right, and then okay, so we've got some humor going on here. Salvo says, "I look like Eric Clapton and Ed Sheeran had a kid." Wow. Well, I can see where you get that idea. It's interesting. Yeah, I'm a fan of them both, so I'll take it. All right, so yeah, I had the idea to do a live stream with the topic of fingerstyle. You know, fingerstyle is something that it really takes a little bit of dedication to get good at, I will say. I'm not going to lie. You have to basically approach it, and that's why I'm calling this live stream Approaching Fingerstyle Guitar. You have to approach it in a way where, you know, you're going to be a little bit humbled by it, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. And there's several reasons for that. One thing is we have to now take into consideration that we have a thumb and 3 fingers. You don't really use the pinky in fingerstyle. Pretty rare. I can say that I've barely seen it ever. When I do see it is maybe in a rasgueado, in flamenco. Once in a while you might use it. But for our purposes, you're pretty much going to use your thumb and your 3 fingers. All right? So I'm going to go back and forth between talking about fingerstyle and then giving some examples, and, you know, playing some songs in a fingerstyle manner, and sort of showing how we can apply these things. So let's start with the fingers, all right? Seems like a good place to start. You've got the thumb, and the thumb is going to play the bass, all right? So if I'm doing, it doesn't matter what song, but if I play the thumb on the strings, normally so there's a rule of thumb, no pun intended, where the thumb will basically play on the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. And the reason for that is, especially for Travis picking, we're going to want to cover that ground. Meaning, a lot of times you're doing alternating bass, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but the thumb is really going to cover the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings. All right. Now, a lot of guitar nomenclature or vocabulary comes from Spanish guitar, so we call the thumb P. Does anybody know what P stands for? Any Spanish speakers out there? Okay, the P stands for pulgar. Pulgar. So, you know, if you see like if you pick up like a fingerstyle book or a classical guitar book, you'll see P for thumb, and that stands for pulgar, which is the Spanish word for thumb. Then you have I, which is fortunate for English speakers. It also means index finger, but it also means índice in Spanish, I believe. And then medio, or middle finger, is M. So you have P, I, M, middle finger. Luckily, I'm not doing it the other way, otherwise that would be offensive. And then you have the 3rd finger, which is A. Okay? And A means annular. And if you think about the ring finger, annular kind of makes sense, because annular is kind of like a to marry word in Spanish, right? And so annular is the ring finger, so you have P, I, M, A. All right, the Mando Corner is right on top of it and is saying yes, that the thumb is pulgar. So thank you very much for letting us know. And then the E is índice, M is medio, A is annular. So exactly. So speaking of Spanish guitar, it's a really good idea to look at that, at least be aware of it, because if you really want to do fingerstyle correctly, you're probably going to want to look at that stuff. I do have a nylon string, so I was going to play it today, and I'm going to basically kind of switch off between my acoustic and my nylon. This is a flamenco guitar, and I'd love to show you guys just a few things on this. There's a different sound, a different feeling with it, a different technique that you want to use on this. So we'll talk about that. So point is, we've got 4 fingers here, and it's a little bit different than playing with a pick. All right. Now, one of the most basic warm-ups I can give you is this flamenco warm-up, because I've been to Spain. I've studied flamenco. I also studied flamenco guitar at USC, where I did grad school work, and I took it very seriously. And it's helped me a lot with fingerstyle. Now, I'm not saying everyone needs to go and study flamenco, but what you should do is at least have a couple warm-ups if you want to do fingerstyle. And we're going to get into how to play songs in a fingerstyle manner. So, if I play an E major chord, okay, of course I can strum it with my thumb as I just did, or I can strum a chord with all my fingernails and my thumb and stuff. But if I want to actually pick individual strings, what I can do is I can do P or thumb on the 6th string, and then I can place my index finger on the 3rd string, middle finger on the 2nd string, ring finger on the 1st string. So, recommend trying that out. You go thumb, index, middle, ring. And as a base, the most basic warm-up I can think of for using all 4 fingers would be thumb, index, middle, ring. Repeat the process on the 5th string, and then the 4th string. Which is nice to get all your fingers moving, so the whole thing together would be. Okay. Now I'd go my thumb back to the 5th string to repeat the exercise. To take it one step further would be to offer an exercise where you actually have a loop going. So if I go thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index. That's a 6/8 feel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Then I would play the thumb 5th string, repeat the fingers, index, middle, ring, middle, index. Thumb on the 4th string, index, middle, ring, middle, index, and then thumb on the 5th string. Such a great exercise. I've done this countless hours, to be honest, because if you really get into this, you can address your sound and your tone with a nice and slow tempo. And when you get comfortable, you can speed it up. And play it over all sorts of chords. Now, I didn't properly warm up this exercise, so I'm getting ahead of myself, but after you play this exercise for about 5 to 10 minutes, you can really start to fly on this thing. Alright, I'm setting a bad example here. I'm going too fast too soon, which is what I tell my students not to do. Right? You want to get comfortable and nice and even. So I'm going to make a tab for that and put it on the Patreon that I'm offering for everybody if anybody's interested in tabs. I will have this exercise posted there with all these chords that I know for this exercise. The next one would be A minor. Next one would be a very strange like a B flat diminished. Then a D minor, then a G7, then a C over G, etc. And it keeps going. I don't want to overwhelm people with this. But this is a way to warm up your fingers, and instead of just jumping in and hoping that it works out, you really want to warm up your hands. And if I'm ever looking for something to do to get better at fingerstyle, I'll usually start with this exercise. So once again, that's P-I-M-A. In that order for this exercise, P-I-M-A, with the thumb on the 6th string and the index on the 3rd, middle on the 2nd, ring on the 1st. And then just go back, middle, index. Okay? So hopefully that's helpful as an exercise. And this is a great chance for us to dialogue about fingerstyle, and if you have any requests, I can try to show it in a fingerstyle manner. So there are so many ways to approach fingerstyle, and let's see here. I think that maybe I'll show you some nylon stuff here. So nylon guitar is a really good thing to look at because it's kind of the basis of classical guitar, Spanish guitar, flamenco guitar, right? All right, and it has a softer feel. Okay, so we have a question from Savos here saying, can I suggest some tips and exercises for tremolo picking? All right, tremolo picking. That's going to be something that is a little more advanced, but I'm willing to talk about that briefly. It's probably something that most of our viewers aren't doing, but I'm happy to address that for you. Hey, Becky. All right, so I know Becky's been hoping to be there for the live streams, and now she's here, so that's great. Nice to see you. Becky's a long-time subscriber. So Savos, you asked about tremolo picking. Now, like I said, if I'm talking about something that's a little advanced for some people, don't worry. But this is something that, if you do classical, you might be aware of. Tremolo picking is, I can't think of any classical examples right now, but what tremolo picking is usually using your 3rd, 2nd, and 1st finger on the same string. So I'm just improvising right now. I kind of forget how to do Recuerdo de la Alhambra right now because I haven't been really good about keeping up with my classical repertoire. So, Malagueña, yeah. Yeah, I need to refresh myself on Malagueña and all those things. But what tremolo picking is using your 3rd finger, 2nd finger, and 1st finger. And you're using it as a way of having 3 attacks on one string. And you can do that with any sound. So thumb, ring, middle, index. Really fun to do. So not something that everyone's going to be comfortable with here, but most people don't play Spanish guitar, at least probably on this channel, but something to consider, right? You have the tremolo picking. Hopefully that made sense. Una limosna por el amor de Dios. Okay, so I know Barrios, I know Agustin Barrios. I don't know that piece, so thank you, the Mando Corner. These are things that I can check out, so I will keep that in mind. Una limosna por el amor de Dios. Okay, cool. So this is all stuff to check out, so I appreciate that. All right, now maybe I'll play a song here for a little break here. This is Do you guys know Vicente Amigo? All right, Vicente Amigo is one of the most famous flamenco guitarists out there, and really an inspirational person for me. I've seen him live several times in Los Angeles, and he's from Cordoba, Spain, España. And anyway, you know, I'm gonna show you how you can use some of these flamenco techniques, hopefully for your own sake, but we'll also get into some pop and rock fingerstyle as well in a sec. All right, so this is called Roma, which has to do with the Gitanos, or the gypsies that came from all the way from India through Arabia into southern Spain, which kind of created flamenco music. All right, so let's see if I can pull this off. I'm a little rusty on all my flamenco stuff. All right. So that was Roma by Vicente Amigo. And flamenco is very technically challenging, so I have to really focus when I do that. All right. So there's a little bit of Spanish guitar, flamenco guitar. You can also study classical guitar, and there's countless repertoire pieces to look at, which will work on your fingerstyle. If you really want to do fingerstyle, you know, if you look at some of these big YouTubers who are fingerstyle monsters, I would suspect they've all studied classical guitar. It's just kind of what you do. And something to consider is looking into that stuff. There's Bach, there's Barrios, there's Sor, right? There's Terega, countless others, and it's something to look into. I also really love flamenco, and it's something that I've taken very seriously, although lately I've been pretty bad about it. I'd like to, you know, I used to do 2 hours a day of flamenco, which seems crazy probably to the viewers here because I barely have done any flamenco on this channel, but it's just beautiful stuff, and it'll really help your fingerstyle in all styles, right? So there you go. Let's get back to the steel string because that's what most of you are playing. All right, Mando corner, Tangos del Arco Bajo by Vicente. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about there. So, yeah, great stuff. All right, so let's talk about a couple of finger picking techniques here that we can think about. If I have, let's say, well, let's take a song I've covered briefly. Let's say I'm going to do Landslide. All right. Now this happens to be a staple of beginners. Yeah. Oh, Mando corner's right on target. That's exactly what I was going to cover. Travis picking. So what is Travis picking? Well, it has to do with the thumb. Has to do with bass, basically. And Travis picking is basically a great solo guitar technique. And if I have a alternating bass pattern with the thumb, I can all of a sudden create a pretty full arrangement with not too much effort. And my fingers don't necessarily have to do a ton of work as long as my thumb is creating this alternating bass pattern. Now, landslide is one example, but there's countless examples. I'm actually going to get into a couple others as well. Don't think twice is all right is another one. But you know, you could literally come up with hundreds or even thousands. So what Travis picking is saying, all right, if I have a C chord, here's a C chord, I have my thumb on the 5th and 4th strings, all right, at the very least. We'll start with there. And if I go 5th, 4th, 5th, 4th. Now in music theory terms, that would be root, 3rd, root, 3rd. But I don't have to do anything with the left hand to make that happen. I just keep the C chord there. And I go back and forth. Okay, so now if I speed it up a little bit, what I can do is I can fit notes in between, which is why Travis picking is so cool, because we can actually create syncopations, melodies, and all these things. So I'll go thumb, index on 3rd string, thumb 4th string, middle 2nd string, and then thumb back again. Thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, 5th, 4th, 5th, 4th. Okay? Without the fingers, it would just be this. Boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, boom, boom. So the thumb is creating a bass line. Bass, 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 bass. On all the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, 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 thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just one way to Travis pick. If you really wanted to get more complex, you could also do the 6th string like this. 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 6th, 4th. So that's not how landslide goes, but that would be another example of Travis picking. Meaning that every quarter note, just like a bass, if you see a bass, boom, 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 not a very good impersonation of stand-up bass, you would see a quarter note feel, right? And you can do that with fingerstyle. Thumb, and you just get it, you know, you want to do it as if it's a habit, so that it's basically mindless or not, you're not having to focus anymore. Takes a while. Took my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. Thumb, thumb, thumb. Saw my reflection in a thumb, 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 thumb. Even if I took out the fingers, it would work. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? All right, now the fingers are arriving or are playing in between the thumbs. So thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. So every 8th note is filled up with a note. So it's something I learned early on, this song, and I have a lesson on it. You can check it out. So that would be a basic demonstration of Travis picking. What if I improvised a Travis picking part? And I'm going to play G, 6th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 6th, 4th, 6th. Now D, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Now the reason I'm going 6, 4 is because that's the root and 5th of a G chord. Now I'm going to play a D chord. Here's the 4th string, that's the root of the D. And then that 5th string is the A. I'm sorry, the 5th string is an A, but the 5th string is the 5 of D. So you kind of want to do root 5th a lot of times as well on Travis picking. So let's see how that sounds. bass, 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 bass. All right, let's analyze this part. Bass and then fourth and first strings together. Then I go sixth string, second, fourth, third. All in a Travis picking style. Alright, does that make sense, Mando Corner? How you would go about Travis picking? You're playing a root and fifth or root and third every quarter note, and then you can either have the fingers on the beat or you could have them syncopated. On the beat, right? On the beat, syncopated, syncopated. On the beat, syncopated. Okay? So Travis picking shows up in many songs, including Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. Okay, so let me play a verse of this. Oh boy. Let's see here, 1 second. All right. Let me play a verse of this song. Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. So let's see this finger picking here. Travis picking. Look at the thumb. Okay. There ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, like you never done before. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, it don't matter anyhow. That your rooster crows at the break of dawn. Look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason that I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. It ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. The light I never know. It ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. And there is something you could do or say, Travis picking. Try and make me change my mind and stay. Thump, 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 thump. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Now I'm gonna do a fingerstyle arrangement. The melody. Okay, improvising a little bit. Mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Alright. It's a little cold here in Colorado. Fingers are not really reacting the way I want them to. But anyway, there's a nice little example, hopefully, of, hey Julia, all right, good to see you. And I'm glad, Mando Corner, that helps. So there's an example of using Travis picking and then breaking free from that, which is kind of what I was hoping to talk about now a little bit. So there are many ways to approach fingerstyle. I kind of started the lesson today with some Spanish style, classical and flamenco, warm-ups, and then you can play Travis picking with songs like Landslide, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Great choices to get good at that. And then you can take these things a step further and start to look at how can I improvise or how can I create my own melodies. And that has to do with breaking free a little bit from just straight alternating bass. What I mean by that is if I have a melody, I can play the melody without even the chords. So here's the melody of the Bob Dylan song. Now if I add the chords, it sounds like this, without even Travis picking. I'm playing the C, G, A minor. And that has to do with using the middle and index fingers while you're playing the melodies. And really getting comfortable with that, spending time with that. So I'm switching between the index and middle. Right now I was playing a C major scale. Now I'm playing a G add 2, or G sus2 actually. Here's an A minor, F sus2. So these are using my shapes and my chords and my scales all up and down the fretboard, which is something to work towards. Really fun. I can keep myself busy for hours just messing around with songs up and down the fretboard by using my rule of thumb, no pun intended once again, of keeping my thumb on the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, keeping my 3 fingers, index, middle, and ring, on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, right? So here's a C chord here, but here's a C chord way up here. Thumb, 4th string, index 3rd, middle 2nd, ring 1st. All of a sudden I'm creating something maybe slightly brand new by playing triads out of the cage system. Something that I wouldn't really be able to do with a pick that well. Okay, I love playing with a pick, and there's a certain sound that you get with a pick, and there's a certain limitation that you have with a pick. You can't really play all these notes. So I hope that makes sense, taking these things and taking it to the next level. All right, so let's see here. You know what? I want to play an Elton John song because I did a lesson on a song called Your Song, all right, which is a classic Elton John song. And I was pretty happy with this arrangement because I kind of transcribed the piano part pretty exactly, especially on the intro. And it created this sound which was really, really nice for guitar because sometimes we don't have these things where we're playing intricate fingerstyle parts. We're strumming chords, we're doing riffs and solos, but it's nice to focus on a nice fingerstyle piece. So let's see if I can pull this off here. This will be Elton John, Your Song. It's a little bit funny, this feeling Boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. No, it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. You can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof and kicked off the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they've got me quite cross. But the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you who keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, these are things that I do. You see, I can't remember if the green or the blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, that yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. Maybe quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Chord melody. Easier said than done. Something to consider, playing the melody on the guitar. How wonderful life is while you're in the world. What a beautiful song. Definitely recommend learning that. And what I was doing at the end there was playing, basically playing a chord melody where you play the melody on the guitar. And Becky just gave a thumbs up, and I know that Becky is a fan of chord melody because she was just telling me that recently. And you know, not everyone's a singer, and that's totally fine. I actually wasn't a singer right away on the guitar. And if you just want to play chord melody, go for it, you know, and that's something that I highly recommend everyone try. Thank you, the Mando Corner. Okay, so we have a Childish Gambino request, so I'll have to do a lesson on that at some point. I do add every request that I get to a list. Sometimes I'll pass on it if it's something that no one's ever heard of, or you know, is very not in demand, then I maybe won't do it. But usually I will do, as many of you know, I will do almost every request I get. More than half the videos I've done have been requests. So I'll add that to the list, Savos, and I'll save that. So so thanks for that. And I appreciate the nice, kind words there, Mando Corner. All right, let's talk about Bossa Nova a little bit. Oops. So, let's see here. I can't believe it's already been 50 minutes. So, we also have so many things we can look at, including jazz and Bossa Nova. So let's take a more of a simple Bossa Nova song. Because there's so many directions you can go with fingerstyle, and I don't want to limit you by saying, okay, there's Travis picking, and then there's this and that. There's many, many directions you can go. And one thing to do is to look at Bossa Nova. Where it has similarities to Travis picking because you're doing an alternating bass line. But you're playing these jazz chords. So this is a song called Blue Bossa. Let me play a little bit of it first, and then we'll talk about what's going on. Okay, there's the chords. Now the melody is, notice I'm using my first two fingers mostly for the melody, index and middle. Hopefully you can see that. A good exercise for you all is to just simply play melodies with your fingers. It won't kill you. Right? Don't even worry about the chord. Alright, so that's the melody of Blue Bossa. Da, 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 da. Something we probably all are familiar with. Now, if I play the chords and the melody, it's called a chord melody. And that's kind of what I probably want to leave us with in the last 10 minutes here, is thinking, you know, do you really want to take fingerstyle to the next level? It would be playing chord melody arrangements. So let me demonstrate. If I play, so what I did there is, not very well, because I was a little rusty on it, is I played the C minor chord with the melody, and I kind of lost the bossa feel a little bit. That's okay. If you're playing chord melody, you don't have to keep a strict arrangement style. You can the melody is king, right? Or queen, whatever. So the melody is all important, and you want to make sure that's really what our ear hears. That's the melody. I'm playing all the chords. Here's E flat minor. Now I can improvise fingerstyle in these chords. Play some solos. Back to Bossa. Makes me feel like I need to practice a little more because I'm a little rusty because I don't do that every day, I will admit. And that's not the main focus of the channel. We've been doing more, we haven't been doing any Bossa Nova. So that's something that I wanted to throw in. I kind of wanted to throw a bunch of things into the stream for you to think about, whether it's styles to approach or listen to. And how do we use our fingers? How do we use our thumb, index, middle, ring? All right. So let's see here. We're probably nearing the end, and another thing that the the channel now has is Super Chat. So you're welcome to donate to the channel. It's a great way to support the channel. And that's a recent addition, and our channel is growing. And it's thanks to you all. So I really appreciate everyone watching the videos, commenting, liking, and you know, the Super Chat is a great way to support what's going on. So I appreciate that. And also there's a Patreon you can check out as well. So I probably should mention that before I forget. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing this this type of thing with the live stream especially is very fun for me to get to know you all a little bit better. So Becky says, okay, can't find my way home. Yeah. And I'm near the end and I don't know that one, Becky, by heart, but I love, that was Blind Faith, right? Steve Winwood and Clapton. And I'm near the end and and I can't find my way home. And I'm near the end. Let's see. And I can't find my way. I'm struggling to find the melody. Hold on. Near the end, near the end. So, near the end, and I'm top about the time. Oh, and I can't find my way home. Okay, she said, you said bummer, Becky, but hopefully I at least gave you some satisfaction with struggling through that. Yeah, okay, trying to get the cage system down. Bonnie Raitt, yeah, definitely. All right, so I'll probably leave you with the song here, and we'll get going. Okay, good. I'm glad you liked it. Let's try. So I've done that. Let's try a little James Taylor to end the day, and then I got to get going. Oops. So James Taylor is somebody I highly recommend checking out for fingerstyle. He kind of changed the game because he combined fingerstyle with melody, basically. And, you know, anybody who knows Fire and Rain can see that this is not a typical fingerstyle thing. He's doing something new. So check him out. I'm going to play a song called Carolina on My Mind. And I'm going to hope that I get... Oh, by the way, before I play that, one more song to check out. Oh, and there's thousands, but Helplessly Hoping. Travis picking, right? Bass, 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 bass. Right? So you find it in folk rock, you find it in all sorts of things. But I'd like to play Carolina on My Mind. I probably don't need the lyrics. What am I thinking? But there it is, just in case. All right, here we go. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine that hit me from behind? You Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Ain't no caring she's a silver sun. You best watch her away and watch it shine. Watch her, watch the morning come. Travis Bickey. Silver tear appearing now. I'm crying, ain't I? Gone to Carolina in my mind. Ain't no doubt in no one's mind that love's the finest thing around. Whisper something soft and kind. Hey babe, the sky's on fire. I'm dying, ain't I? Gone to Carolina in my mind. In my mind, I'm going to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from behind? Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. With a holy host of others standing around me, still I'm on the dark side of the moon. And it seems like it goes on like this forever. You must forgive me if I'm up and gone to Carolina in my mind. Yes, I'm going to Carolina in my mind. I'm going to Carolina in my mind. Gone, I'm gone, yeah. Say nice things about me, 'cause I'm gone, yes, I'm gone. Got to carry on without me. All right. So, thank you so much, Becky, and everybody else for watching. And remember to just have fun with this, and enjoy fingerstyle. I find that it's a soothing thing for me. If I'm playing with a band with drums, yeah, I'll use a pick, and certain songs require a pick, pretty much. But I really enjoy fingerstyle, and I'd love to share that joy with you if you can have fun with it. Mess around with your arrangements, mess around with the songs try mixing them up, get some fingerstyle exercises in, whether it's the ones I showed you today or other ones. Try some basic fingerstyle songs like Landslide and Don't Think Twice Is Alright. There's other ones I've covered in my lessons. Elliott Smith, Angelus. There's Blackbird, right? A must know for everybody. So a lot to cover, a lot to learn, and the goal is to not only get better at it, but have fun, right? And And I'm here if you have any questions. You can leave comments in the videos. So I'm glad. Hey, the Soul Shake. All right, the Soul Shake just released an album, and they're really good friends of mine in Northern California. So check out the new album; it's really good. And sounds like my buddy John. So anyway, definitely a lot of fun to cover this stuff and share it with you, and let me know how it goes, and let me know how the fingerstyle arrangements go. Like I said, go out and try to figure out some things on your own, play some melodies, and then play some chords over it. And that's kind of how I would approach getting to the more advanced level, is use your melodies and chords and see if you can even come up with your own. It doesn't have to be a song. Couldn't really do that with a pick, right? At least very effectively. And this is all improvised. Using my ear to find melodies and playing chords underneath. Something that I'm not expecting you to do right away, but something to work towards. Fingerstyle is built to as a vehicle for you to play it like a piano, play it as if all you need is the guitar, right? And sometimes when we're strumming a chord with the pick really loudly, we need a voice in there, we need a lead guitar in there, and that's why we love guitar, right? We love that, but at the same time, go as far as you can with the fingerstyle. Have fun, give it time, give it patience. I've been playing fingerstyle for a long time. There's no shortage of virtuoso fingerstyles to be inspired from on YouTube. Check those guys out as well. I didn't even talk about percussion and all that. Something else to look at. And like I said, look at the Brazilian bossa nova, look at classical guitar, look at flamenco guitar, look at Travis picking, and all that stuff. Look at Bob Dylan. You know, people criticize him, but he's a great guitar player on fingerstyle. So, so many people to look at, and I think I'll leave it there. Okay, so the Mando Corner is making a little joke there. You can train your ear, and that's something that I'm going to be doing more with my lessons and with my Patreon, which I would love for you to all check out. So yeah, don't worry about your ear. Your ear can improve. I'll be giving you tips on how to improve your ear, and also. You know, just keep learning theory and then applying that to the guitar. That'll improve your ear as well. All right, so thanks everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day and had a wonderful weekend. And really appreciate all your support. It's been great to hang out with you all once again. We'll keep doing these, and we'll keep getting in touch with each other and improving our guitar skills. All right, so look for more videos this week. And, oh, you joined. All right. Thanks, Mando Corner. So I appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the Patreon and subscribing to the channel, supporting us. We're a relatively new channel, as you can tell. And it's just been so great to be supported by everybody here. Really feels nice. So hopefully this was helpful, and happy practicing, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.